My son was Tel Orfanos. We lost him last night at the borderline shooting. My son was in Las Vegas with a lot of his friends and he came home. He didn't come home last night, and I don't want prayers. I don't want thoughts. I want gun control, and I hope to God nobody else sends me any more prayers. I want gun control. No more guns. Thank you.
Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. I bring you the news, the real news. And this kind of news as well. Not just the real news every day. I'm looking at the chat and everybody is pretty animated about what happened a couple nights ago in Thousand Oaks, California, not too far away from right here. And now they're having raging fires, which a lot of other people have conspiracy theories about as well. I could simply report about the phenomenon that is YouTube and the comment sections and then the thumbs down and thumbs up on these videos that I've been watching all day, trying to get you the news together. I mean, people don't believe, regardless of what you're allowed to say on YouTube, people don't believe the official story. And I feel like as a news reporter, it's my duty then to go out and look at the official story and see if there are reasons that people should think that way, or maybe there are reasons people shouldn't think that way. So we just have to review the evidence and kind of be discerning and say, hey, is this realistic in the version of the 3D world that I consider my reality? Are the things that happened that night and with the various survivors and witnesses and the situation itself, are those things believable, statistically possible within my version of this 3D matrix, holographic universe, whatever you want to call it? Does it fit? Does it work? So I've spent, like I said, the last 2 hours and then before then also reviewing as much video as I could. So I'm just going to put it together and lay it out for you and as much as I can in this video. And hopefully people who are really looking to find out exactly what happened at this thing and maybe why, then maybe we can answer some of those questions. So I'm going to get into it, okay? I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. Over my shoulder is Doshi. Hey, Doshi. My inspiration for the show. He is running for president in 2020. Well, he's running on all kinds of different things, but ending the Fed, very important. He's going to fix healthcare. He's going to go to a gold-backed currency. He's going to legalize all drugs. You can get Doshi stuff and some brand new gear. I'm wearing our Truth clothing. I'm sorry, Truth Matters. This is our baseball jersey. We make shirts and we sell them actually on the internet at truthclothing.io. And then we sponsor the show with it. And we get out messages that you want on your chest. Our shop has just been reimagined. We have pre-orders available right now for brand new designs. This is my first time seeing it. We have a brand new logo design, TR logo, Truth Revolution. Black, question everything. We added in white before. A brand new women's style in the Russian bot shirt. I hadn't even seen that. We have a zip-up hoodie now. Those are going to be for pre-order. I think you're going to get a discount on those if you order in advance. So we have to set that up, I think. You're going to get, basically the way it's going to work is if you get one of these things that's coming in, you get 10% off, and then it ships out in a week or so, or 2 weeks, or whatever it is. So check it out, truthclothing.io. I'm excited. This is my first time seeing this stuff. And you can see all of our other cool gear, Doshi stickers, Doshi 2020 stuff, truthclothing.io, free shipping over $55 now. Free shipping over $55. We ship it right out of the garage here. We went down to the shop today to pick out colors and samples. This new TR logo stuff is sweet. Thanks for the super chat. I can see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm going to play some of this gun control stuff, okay? Here is, for people who are asking, there are people now that are telling me, hey, I see what you're talking about. It does look weird. But why did they do it? Why did they do it? Thanks, Rambo Jambo. Much love and respect. Back at you. If you guys have anything you want to add, there are a lot of details and a lot of theories about what happened to this thing. So if you do a super chat, I can see it. Otherwise, I'm looking at this. Check out people will say, oh, there's an agenda for gun control or what have you. This is from Sky News. And has the woman you just saw, who I'll let you see again. And then this was another plea for gun control.
They need to do something. People who have problems should not have guns. And if they run tests, but clearly the tests don't do anything. Because this guy was messed up in the head and he was still able to carry a gun.
What would you like the politicians to do?
They need to step up and do something. Instead of just all this talk, everyone's just all talk and no one's action. We need to do something about all this.
Alexis's friends had survived another mass shooting in Las Vegas last year, only to be caught up and killed in this one. Earlier, news cameras had heard from one of their mothers.
My son was Tel Orfanos. We lost him last night at the borderline shooting. My son was in Las Vegas with a lot of his friends and he came home. He didn't come home last night, and I don't want prayers. I don't want thoughts. I want gun control, and I hope to God nobody else sends me any more prayers. I want gun control. No more guns. Thank you.
Stalks away.
A police officer also lost his life.
There are two people who really want gun control after this situation, and we'll see how the cries, see if it gets louder, these calls for gun control. The only thing about it is California, where I live, the gun laws are about as strict as they are anywhere in this great country of ours. You can't, for example, it's already illegal to have extended clips, for example. The guy was apparently carrying a Glock 45 and using extended magazines. Extended magazines, anything more than 10 bullets, anything that holds more than 10 bullets is illegal in California. It's illegal to possess, not just to use. So in terms of making the law any stricter, unless they're going to ban handguns, now the angle, of course, is this mental health stuff. And the mental health angle we've seen pushed also after Parkland, and they're pushing the same agenda after the MAGA bomber, who apparently was also having mental issues. And I played a little bit of how they talk about that after these kinds of events. This is from Sky News, and you can see the reaction to this gun control message. You have 110 thumbs up and 155 thumbs down. And then if I could show you the comments, let's see. They're not,
inside the
they're
borderline.
not loading. And then I'll show you probably again some of the video from that room. People saying California already has the strictest gun laws. That's the problem. Scottish pleb says, why is she wiping her eyes? There are no tears. So you see the way people are responding to this stuff. And I can certainly report on that. This is the kind of thing people are saying, and I'm seeing it everywhere. Also on Twitter, Liz Crokin tweeted out that this was, I believe she called it I'm not going to use the words, but FF. She basically implied that it was carried out by someone other than who we're told it was carried out by, that the event was different. So that's the reaction to this kind of thing. Let me show you.
Some people caught in
she
the borderline
said
shooting.
This other amazing thing, which came out right away, was that there were a number, maybe up 50 to 60 people who were inside of the Borderline Bar and Grill where this shooting happened, where there were hundreds or over 100 people on a college night. 50 or 60 of them had survived the Las Vegas shooting. That mother, her son was among those people that survived the Las Vegas shooting and perished at this shooting in Thousand Oaks. Now, you're going to see quite a bit of this guy. You see this Route 91 tattoo right here? You can barely see it here, but you're going to see it in this interview. This is the guy that's being interviewed. So this guy, of course, was at Route 91. And the reason I'm going to show him to you is he's in pretty much every scene that you're going to see. This guy, with all the tattoos. And he's the main guy that you see running around with his shirt off in a number of different locations. And I just want to show you also one thing that's weird, you could say it's weird, about mass shootings sometimes, or what we're shown as mass shootings, right, is that there are a limited number of victims or survivors which you see on the news, and they seem to always find their way in front of a camera, and then you don't hear from anybody else. It's just a weird thing that happens after most mass shootings. There are a few victims or survivors or family members who are put in front of the cameras, and that's it. And then you kind of don't hear from other people. You'd think there would be different people on different networks, but no, that's not what we experience when we have these, American rituals, this ritual of a mass shooting, and then the ritual of the way it's covered, and then the ritual of the gun control calls, and then the people saying no, and then the gun control thing never happens. I wouldn't worry about it too much, although they might push for it. They might push for getting extended clips banned worldwide. You can also 3D print extended clips, and you don't need anything special for that. I think it's going to be problematic trying to do anything there, but we heard about the gun control.
Ran to safety.
Here's this guy, okay.
Borderline was our safe space after. For lack of a better term, it was our home for the probably 30 or 45 of us that were all from the greater Ventura County area that were in Vegas.
There, that was him again. This is a scene. It reminds me of the Pulse nightclub when they're running, carrying this person. One thing that I find, I don't know how the news media arrived so quickly. It quickly enough that they're actually catching people evacuating from the scene like this, including catching some of it from above by helicopter. I'm not sure how the media got on the ground so quickly, so that almost everyone got this shot, this very dramatic shot of all these people running. The guy without his shirt on, I believe, is the same guy that was just interviewed. And if not, there are two guys with their shirts off. They're in, well, you're going to see more shots. But anyway, that's the first look.
We're in Vegas, and that was our place that we went to the following week, 3 nights in a row, just so we could be with each other.
And look at this. This Kelly has a tattoo on his arm memorializing last year's shooting, at least one of the Vegas survivors.
So then they roll into the story of the mother of the Vegas survivor that got killed. So I think it's incredible to everyone. It's just incredibly unlucky, I suppose, for all these people that survived the Las Vegas shooting to have ended up in another mass shooting. And the weird thing is the victims or the people who survived it that we're seeing, besides a few that are, the reactions range from bored or mildly amused, like you'll see in a few of the survivors that we'll show, to hysterical, with no real balance in between there. You have a few people crying, and then more people talking, just like that guy who was in the Route 91 who had the tattoo.
This is Taylor,
without much emotion.
She is now joining us. She's a witness. And by the way, she is a daughter of a military veteran. Man, that came in handy.
Okay, sorry. I have a lot of videos queued up. Let me just kind of go over some of the... Let me go over this really quick because this is important. And I'll drop it in early. And I put this on Twitter too. They say that the guy, the shooter, okay, and by the way, this guy right here, I pointed him out earlier. This is Dallas Knapp. He was in a shot that I was showing you earlier. He is the guy that put out the video, Dallas Knapp. This is his Instagram right here, Mr. Knapp. So that's his video, and then he turns out in a number of shots as well. So right here, and then in the background in some other pictures. Like I said, it's just in all the photographs you see a lot of the same people. There's that scene again. And here, I'll just show you this. You have the guy with his shirt off. You have this guy. And then this is the one person you see is wounded. But it's all the same scene. That's what's important, is you see a lot of different pictures. But it's actually a lot of different pictures of exactly the same people and the same situation. So the one victim that you can see that has, you can see he has a wound, it appears, right, in his back, and they appear to be applying pressure to the wound. This is the result of the people who are carrying the person. This is the person that it appears they were carrying. Here's a better view of the, what appears to be a wound. So make of that what you will. Maybe that makes you think, oh, maybe it really isn't what I thought. Maybe there is something to it. Here's more pictures of these folks going across the street. Okay, I was going back
first,
to...
do want to update you on that breaking news.
I have a lot of video. And let me... okay, I was going to play for you. The shooter supposedly killed himself. Here's this guy, Dallas Knapp. The shooter supposedly killed himself. I believe that's the official story. From the dispatch audio.
That's down directly inside the door, and you have a subject dressed in all black. Just outside is his south window. He's dressed in all black with a beard. I did a cursory search. I did not find a weapon, but he matches the suspect description. He's got 3 gunshot wounds to the chest, and he's down. South window. He's dressed in all black with a beard. I did a cursory search. I did not find a weapon, but he matches the suspect description. He's got 3 gunshot wounds to the chest, and he's down.
3 gunshot wounds to the chest, and he's down. Now, if the official story is that he killed himself, then the official story has problems, because I'm not sure how he killed himself with 3 gunshot wounds to the chest. Let me show you one other possible discrepancy, and that's from this news report. This is a very early news report from ABC 10 News.
They said the shooter just went in and started shooting, didn't say a word. He had a mask on his face. It was college night, and the bar was packed with...
Did you hear it said he had a mask on his face?
Last night, they heard more than a dozen shots fired. They said the shooter just went in and started shooting, didn't say a word. He had a mask on his face. It was college night, and the bar...
Not sure why she said that. None of the other reports have that. In fact, a lot of the other reports say the opposite, including this guy. This is one of the witnesses, one of the survivors to the shooting, and one of the ones that I have to tell you seems rather unshaken from the whole experience. But he's going to mention how the guy was actually dressed.
He had like a quick disguise. So he had like a black outfit on, like black hat. He had some glasses, like a black shirt or jacket. But yeah, it just, he looked like he was over 30.
Okay, and then he gets into it a little further. Take a look at this guy's hat. For those of you who have ideas about the controllers and who they are.
Yeah, I did know some people, and unfortunately the first 2 gunshots that I saw, I knew the girl that was running like the cash register. We weren't like good friends, but it was just someone that I just met from going to Borderline, and we just always had small talk, you know, just hey, like good to see you, how's everything, just catching up basically, and she was the first one to get shot tonight.
Oh, hold on. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm happy to be on my 2 feet.
Yeah, well, we're happy to see you and know that.
I don't know. It's just strange. And everybody's used to it because we always see it the same way. After every mass shooting, after all these tragedies, you end up having interviews where people seem strangely unmoved or sometimes mildly amused by what most of us think we would be absolutely destroyed after. This girl is an example of that. And can I tell you, she comes from a military family. She says her dad's military. That's why she knows about guns. There were 6 or 7 off-duty police officers in the venue, news reports say. And then there were just a number of military guys in this club. Many people are telling me off-duty police officers, they were off-duty police officers, generally carry their firearm. One person explained to me that they'll say cops are never off-duty. That's what one person told me, with connections to law enforcement, right? Also, a bunch of military guys. We know from reports that the shooter reloaded at least once, because apparently when he reloaded, that was the opportunity they took to break out the windows and get everybody out of there. He told a story about knowing the cashier and that she was the first one who was shot. And it really is amazing the way folks are able to compartmentalize this stuff, I suppose. Here is now this person. Let's see if I have her name. Taylor Whittler, Teylor, Whittler, for anyone who wants to do the gematria. Taylor Whittler. It's 4:26 a.m. Pacific time, and she's standing out doing interviews. She's about to tell you that half of the group of friends that she came with to the bar are currently at 4:26 a.m. Unaccounted for. And in the meantime, she is making appearances on several different stations and remaining at the scene to, like I said, give interviews. Here she talks about how half of her friends are missing.
Okay or not. And the only thing going through my head the entire time was get out.
I must have missed the timestamp. Let's see.
And at the time, it was just me. I was there. I went with 11 friends. So far, we've only found 6 of them. We don't know where the other ones are. I don't know if they're okay or not. And the only thing going through my head the entire time was get out. You gotta get out, get safe.
Taylor, tell us about
Taylor. And then she gets asked later what she's thinking after this whole thing happened.
It's so surreal for you to be on national television talking about this. You went to that club last night just trying to learn to line dance and be with your friends for her 21st birthday. What's going through your mind right now?
I'm just shocked. Like, I don't understand how people could think this way. Like, I don't understand why this would happen. I didn't think this would ever happen to me until it actually happened. I don't even know what to think right now.
Yeah, Taylor, I watched you this.
It's just, we live in really, really crazy times. I can't account for people's behavior. I could never say for sure what happened at this event. I can tell you a lot of strange things happen at a lot of these events, including victims generally all being declared dead at the scene rather than at hospitals. I've gotten some information that there were no casualties taken into the local hospitals, but I'll have to look into that further. As far as I know, the dead were left inside the scene. I'm going to go over actually just a little
This is a
little bit of this.
ABC News special report.
I want to show you.
And good morning, everyone.
I want to show you guys something I picked out. Okay, one thing I just want to comment. A lot of the, whether it is or not, a lot of what I'm seeing, I don't know how to say this. A lot of what I'm seeing appears to be staged, okay? Like for the cameras is what I'm saying. So I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying a lot of the stuff we see, all these cops running around, the people running around carrying the person, even some of the testimony given, you know, it just has that feel to it. I'm not saying it is, but I mean, I wonder, for example, what are these police officers doing at this time after all the, you know, this must be way later. You have the FBI already on site. The place would have been evacuated ages ago, and you still have all of this strange activity going on. I'm just going to keep playing it.
We've also learned now that the gunman is dead. Once officers made their way in, they say they found.
Now you're going to see more video. There's the guy. You're the guy that I told you about who's in all these different shots. There's the one guy with his shirt off, and then the other guy with his shirt off here is the Route 91 guy we also saw interviewed. Like I said, just not that many. We don't get to meet that many different characters. They just reappear. But that's that guy with the Route 91 tattoo.
And all these young people, you see them, they're emotional after this.
Going to show you some more of this.
The country line dancing at the time when this gunman entered, witnesses say he may have set off some smoke grenades and then just opened fire.
The smoke grenade narrative seems to have fizzled out. There, that's the scene, okay? And there's the guy from Route 91 who's in that interview, and the other guy. Here's a police officer running across a parking lot. Like I said, I'm not sure what that's about. This is the guy that those people would have been carrying. Once again, I'm wondering, given the response of emergency services and given the delay in response for media, I'm wondering, or it's just incredibly, the response of the media was incredibly fast. Wondering how they got on the scene to capture this. This is the one person we clearly see loaded into an ambulance. He has an apparent wound, and he's the guy that was being carried by everybody. And we get like I said, we had a picture of them on this guy, same guy, with the wound in his back, and then you see him loaded up onto the stretcher here.
People at least were injured in this. Some of those gunshot wounds, people also injured trying to escape, because we've been hearing from witnesses who say.
And then I have, here's the ambulance, and here's where he was supposedly loaded in. I'm going to show you something that's really strange from what happens inside the ambulance. I'm just looking to make sure this is the same person we're going to see. And once again, the media response, you have emergency vehicles on the scene, but the helicopter's already up, already getting this action,
to safety. This gunman,
which you'd think would have been
reloaded his handgun at least once. Investigators there at the scene say they've.
I'm not sure how nobody stopped this guy, is what I'm saying. With all these police officers and all this military, I'm not sure how nobody was able to stop this guy. So let me just jump ahead real quick to what I'm going to show you. Oh, more witnesses. Yeah, okay. You do want to hear from these folks. And then I'll show you what happens in the ambulance. You do want to hear from these two. Same scene. You know what? That's a different scene. Same people. Different scene. Same kind of action. It's a different scene with just this happens to be the same.
But we do have some people who were inside of the building when the shooting started. Here's what they had to say.
We were just dancing on the floor. We heard a couple shots. I told, her to get down, all my friends to get down. We went in behind we stayed behind the stage, got out, went through the kitchen, went through the back door. She got out. I went in, got some more people to get out. And we just tried to get out, get behind a car, get behind something, and then.
Yeah, we just tried to take cover.
I mean, from there, all we did was just kind of sit there and wait and just kind of play Doug, I guess. And just sat there and waited until the sheriffs came out.
Just hoping that we could get out and looking for all of our friends. And
did you see him at all?
We were dancing and I saw someone walk in, and then after that I saw just the shots go off, and we just got down. It was such a blur. It just happened.
And just like little. I mean, he was shooting everything from the speakers to anything, so all we really saw was just smoke, and we just saw the shots taking off, so we just tried to get down as fast as we could and get out of there.
And you were dancing, and then you heard the shots and you dropped to the ground.
Yeah. So essentially there was a line dance going on. We got out there, I heard the shots, and everyone kind of just got down and started freaking out, running around. I just told her to get down, get out. Let's just move. We need to get out of here before anything gets happened. We don't know where he's coming from, where the shots were, or anything. So that's all. That's all we just try to do, is try to get ourselves out safe, and then try to get everyone else safe out safe after that.
What did you think those noises were when you first heard them?
I knew they were gunshots. I mean, I'm prior military, so I knew what they sound like.
Another military. So she's prior military. The other girl we saw interviewed earlier, her dad is military. All these people with firearms experience, military background. Why didn't someone stop the shooter sooner? Why, and how did the shooter get 3 gunshot wounds to the chest? So these two go on for a moment, but here's the I want to show you the ambulance scene. Let me keep playing this.
Try to find any kind of cover in any ways at all.
What was going through your mind when you heard that first?
So you see this here. This is the scene where the guys are supposedly pushing on the wound in his back. I showed you earlier.
Shot.
Same guy.
Just to get my friends out safely. Yeah. Just to get them out. I just wanted her to get out safely. I don't really care what happens after that.
Did you tell what kind of weapon it was? Yeah.
And once again, this is, oh man, I have to say, this is really strange. Can I tell you this is really weird? Okay? Because you have guys, and I'm not talking about the scene that we're watching with the 2 girls, and I can't give you any commentary on that. All I can tell you is to make up your own mind about what you think. Let me
I don't.
So
Just
you see what's weird about this is these guys are sitting there. Johnny Supertramp says everybody knows. He says everybody knows this dumb shooting is fake. Well, we don't ever know for sure what happened. Christine, thanks. You're saying I'm the best at this. I'm only here trying to do God's work. You know that. God's work is exposing this kind of stuff, from what I understand. So anyway, they're sitting here, and you think it makes sense that they're sitting there applying pressure, but there's a stretcher actually right next to them, and emergency services right around too. So why are amateurs standing there giving life-saving or performing what they think are life-saving measures when they're actually surrounded by professionals, it appears? Nora, thanks for the super chat. Thanks, everybody. Well, it is...
try to find any kind of cover in...
There's the wound, okay? But then they're going to pull away. Watch. They're going to pull away.
You heard that first shot.
Just to get my friends out safely.
Yeah.
Just to get them out. I just wanted her to get out safely. I don't really care what happens after that.
And then, look. How did this scene end up this way? Tell me what's right about this. There's an empty stretcher awaiting ambulance. And for some reason, and usually you only see the zoomed in version of this without the context of the rest of the scene.
Can you tell what kind of weapon it was?
I don't know. All we know.
Okay, and here's the guy getting loaded into the stretcher. Okay, and he did get some webbing put around him. Same guy.
I was a semi-automatic. Yeah. I just heard, 18 to 20 rounds at a time. That's all I heard before I got out.
That is an insane amount of. And first of all, we all just want to thank you for coming to talk to us and telling us.
I think that could be the same guy, but who knows? Here's somebody else being. Here, let me just.
18 to 20 rounds at a time. That's all I heard before I got out.
That is an insane amount of.
There.
And
once again, the same group of guys carrying somebody else.
So we all just want to thank you for coming to talk to us.
But I believe they're carrying the same person. So I'm not sure what sequence we're seeing these events in, but like I said, it's when you just see the same people running around doing the...
And telling us.
The sheriff there in Ventura County calling this a tragic situation, saying multiple calls came in around 11:20 Pacific time, and one of the sheriff's deputies, as well as California Highway Patrol, were there within moments.
Same 4 people carrying somebody.
They were.
Okay, now this is where it gets kind of weird. So we have a look into the back of the ambulance where we're being shown that they're performing CPR on the person that's in this ambulance. And they make a point of letting us see that, and the ambulance is not closed up or driving away. I'm just going to zoom in on what we're looking at here. And I can't tell exactly what we're looking at, but there is some, I'll show you.
We're nearby. Kayna Whitworth is with us right now. Kayna, what are you learning?
Hey, goodness. So we just heard from the Ventura County Sheriff's Office.
You see that? Did you see that in real time? Because I'll put it in slow motion. It's not graphic. But the way the belly moves just caught my attention. I have it in really slow motion.
Kayna Whitworth is with us
right now. Kena, what are you learning?
Do you see that? Look. Look. Look at it. Did you see that? Look. Look, look. Hold on, I have to rewind again. Look. 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 Sorry, I'm pointing at it with my finger. And then you get the side view. Sorry for the slow. Somebody said they're stoned. No, you're not stoned. That's just me. I have it in quarter speed. And then they show you the outside view of them doing the CPR. Right there. But if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that that was... if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that that was something that was filled with water. If I didn't know any better. And I don't. I'm not going to pretend to. So that's the strange stuff I saw in the news this week. Hopefully that answers some of your questions about why people are saying what they're saying about this thing. I spotted a few things that other people haven't spotted yet. YouTube is a different place than it used to be. Sometimes you could just put that stuff out. But I will note, the 3 gunshot wounds to the chest are very unusual. And I can understand why people think the behavior of some of these witnesses. The Las Vegas thing is very, very strange. I mean, just highly unlikely. And then all of the people that could have stopped this, I'm curious, you know, you were in a uniquely militarized environment, an environment with a lot of military people and police officers. And why would he choose that particular environment, given that somebody might be armed? What are you going to do in California? We already have the strictest gun laws around. One of the things they might do, and I'll just maybe close out with this. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate all the support. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything against the rules. And I know you guys support me on that. Mental health. Mental health. This is after the Parkland shootings. Lots of weird things happen in Broward County.
Have different terms to help our mentally ill, and we all pray for our mentally ill. We pray for them to recover. We all know someone or a family who's affected by someone suffering from mental illness. The Baker Act in Florida allows law enforcement or medical professionals to confine a person involuntarily while they get examined and looked at. But you have to have a reason. You have to be able to articulate that they're a threat to themselves or a threat to someone else. What I'm asking our lawmakers to do is go back to places like Tallahassee, places like Washington, D.C., and give police the power, if they see something on social media, if they see graphic pictures of rifles and blood and gore and guns and bombs, if they see something, horrific language, if they see a person talking about, I want to grow up to be a serial killer, we need to have the power to take that person and bring them before mental health professionals at that particular time, involuntarily, and have them examined. People are going to be rightfully so concerned about their rights, as am I. But what about the rights of these students? What about the rights of young kids who go to schools with book bags and pencils? Don't they have the right to be protected by the United States government to the best of our ability?
All right, great. I'm going to go. Thanks, everybody. And thanks, everybody who appreciates this kind of coverage. If you do appreciate it, you never know what might happen on YouTube. I think I was fair and balanced today. But if you support Doshi and you support Lift the Veil, go ahead and become a patron if you'd like at patreon.com/lifttheveil. You can, for a $2 pledge, you're going to get a Doshi 2020 campaign button right there, which you've seen me wearing on this show quite a bit. For $5 or more, you get a Doshi 2020 bumper sticker. That's after just one payment. You can even cancel after, but I'm going to count on you not to do that. So that's there. And then a reminder for everybody who's tuning in now, brand new stuff at Truth Revolution Clothing. Everybody gets excited when we get our new stuff. Brand new. Just went to the shop today. Brand new women's style in the Russian bot. Black Question Everything shirt. Some new logo stuff, including our first zip-up hoodie. You can pre-order that stuff now. I'll talk to my web manager. I believe it is going to be offered at a 10% discount for pre-order coming in a couple weeks. All right. So anyway, I'm going to go over to Twitch, where you guys know me, twitch.tv/lifttheveil411, and maybe take some calls. Man, I've been live for a while, but I'll take some calls because people are excited. And that's at Twitch. You can download the app too. I was there for 2.5 hours before this show today too, so don't say I don't work for you. You can also go to Lift the Veil anywhere there are podcasts. Thanks, Kay Evangelou. Yeah, he said something about people living in a van. Yeah, I have another clip of that. I'll play it. I'll play it on Twitch. If you listen to the podcast, please give us a rating on iTunes. Take a look at Doshi. Take a look at me. That's what it is.